So one of the recent things that's happened in terms of gaming is that the Xbox 360 has been able to be done on contract now. You can actually go pay $99 for an Xbox, and then for the next 2 years pay $15 a month for 24 months and actually own a console. If you actually have a look, it actually ends up cheaper. Now people are complaining that it's more expensive. If you do use multiplayer, it actually ends up cheaper than if you just buy a console. The reason for this is Microsoft are already making a bucket load on online stuff, so they can use that to reduce the price of the console. So if people out there saying that, it's more expensive, it isn't. It's actually a bit cheaper as long as you have multiplayer. Now the question is that why would Microsoft be doing this? Now, all companies have a end game. You don't see companies just doing things for random. They always have a purpose for doing it. And what I'd say that this purpose is to actually clear out their warehouses and to get people on the hook for a console, for a hardcore gaming console. Why this would happen is that most people don't have $300, $400 to just spend on a console. So Microsoft have gone, okay, well, if you buy the console for $99 and pay it off for 2 years, would actually get them on the hook. The reason for that is that some people would just buy a console, like a lot of Wii's. People bought the console, played it for a couple of months, and then over a period of time, it just sits. And most of what the companies make is not actually in the consoles, it's actually in the games. So they want to keep people actively thinking, oh, there's my Xbox set, I'm paying $15 for it, might as well play it. And that's the entire idea, to get people thinking about their consoles. The other fact is that, as I said, they're trying to clear their warehouses. If they're bringing out a new Xbox, what they've realized is that their sales have slumped, and they don't want a whole stack of old Xboxes. So they're trying to increase sales so that they can ship that amount. Now the two big questions here. Firstly, what does this mean? It means that the new Xbox is probably about 2 years out. The reason for this is that they'll get people on the contract, and then by the time that the old Xbox comes off contract, they'll be offered to recontract with the new console. And those people who are towards the end of the contract, they'll go, hey, look, you've almost got done. How would you like to upgrade with the new console for such and such a term? It's an old sales technique where you keep on people on the hook. You keep on, by the time that they come off one contract, you get them on a new one. It's common with mobile phones and a lot of other things like rentals, interest-free terms. You got to get them on the hook. And finally, should you do it? Now, a lot of people listening might already have an Xbox 360, in which case, only if you really need another console. I'm sort of in favour of only having one console. Look, if you're after the slim one, you could, but it's up to you really. But it's actually a good way of doing it, because how much you spend in games a month? You probably spend, Americans, if you bought a game a month, it's $60. Probably buy 2 games a month, $120. Well, that's brand new games as well. So it really depends on how you're thinking about playing games. But if you're a PS3 user and thinking about Xbox 360, now would probably be the time to switch over, because Microsoft are probably going to release a similar scheme in terms of the new Xbox. This will primarily be to test the water in how they can pull off this method, because they can't really lose with the Xbox 360s. So if they see a decent spike in terms of ownership of new consoles, they're going to move on and go, this is a great plan, we'll do it for the next console. If it fails completely and utterly, they know, okay, now's not the time to be able to do that with the new console. So they move forward, think of another way to market it. Anyway, I hope I shed some light on how companies tend to do things. I intend on doing future tech series because it's just really dawned on me that people trust what I say about tech, and if people trust what I say about tech, you know, that's what people tune into. And I actually have a number of cost-saving methods, ways of building up different types of setups. My current setup, I've got PC gaming, Xbox, TV, surround sound, all in the same setup, and I probably spent between them all currently just over $1,000 for the entire setup. You know, if you do want to get some tricks and tips in terms of audio-visual setups or tech setups, subscribe to my channel. I will be doing some in the future to try and share some of my knowledge and experience in terms of being a salesman. So I spent 3 years in electronics retail, and I basically had to be an expert on everything. A few tips and tricks into what sort of buy and what not to buy. Anyway, I'm out.